Good morning. Welcome to Sunday. Greetings to the people I can see, the people I can't see, and the folks who may be watching this later on YouTube. It's good to be back. Today, we're going to talk about the hindrances. The hindrances to mindfulness, the hindrances to awakening. Basically, the things that can hold us back as we're working to awaken in meditation. But first, why don't we meditate? So let's start with finding a meditation posture that works for you. If you're sitting, you want to be upright but not rigid. So letting your back fall into its natural curve. And tucking your chin. And it would be like if there's a string pulling at the top of your head, gently to straighten up the top of your spine without stressing the muscles in your neck. And just notice how your body feels in this moment. Notice the sensations of your body resting in the chair. On the cushion. Notice what it feels like to feel your hands resting in your lap. Let's start with a few slow, deep breaths. And as you exhale, just begin the process of letting your body relax and soften. And letting your breath return to normal. And continuing just to relax whatever tension or stress you're holding in your face, your shoulders, your belly. As you breathe out whatever energy that is. And relaxing the thinking muscle. to whatever degree you can, just letting the mind go as quiet as it might go. Just letting the mind settle the way sediment settles at the bottom of a still pool, and the water becomes more and more clear. And letting your attention come to the sensations of the body breathing. Noticing what it feels like, the sensations of the body breathing in. Noticing the sensations of the body breathing out. Just focusing, letting your awareness rest, focused on the breath. Just observing, accompanying the body, accompanying the breath, moving in and out. If your mind wanders off, that's okay. If you notice you're thinking, and you will, don't worry about it. The mind does that. It just thinks, bubbles up thoughts. When you notice, it's all good. Just bring your attention back to the breathing. notice right away that you're thinking. You may notice after some time goes by. It's all good. You may get 2 or 3 breaths before your mind wanders off. You may get a longer period of time. It's all good. Just when you notice that you're thinking, your mind has wandered off the breath, just come back to focusing on the body breathing, being with the breath. you notice that you're thinking, your mind may have wandered off. It's okay, it's all good. Without getting involved in the content of whatever your discursive thought is doing. Just notice and come back to your breathing. And as we come towards the end of this sitting, I invite you to notice the state of your mind and body in this moment. May whatever benefits we receive from this practice today enable us to move through the world with kindness and compassion, to see the world through kind eyes, to be that much more centered and bring that into our interactions with people. May it be that the benefits of this practice enable us to radiate kindness into our households, compassion into our neighborhoods, kindness and compassion into the world around us, to the people we know, to the people we don't know, to everyone we interact with today, whether it's up close or it's just the grocery checker. Or someone whose gaze you meet walking down the street. May it be that this practice helps us walk with kindness and love. May the benefits of this practice be of benefit to all beings everywhere. May all beings be happy. May all beings be well. May all beings be safe. May all beings be at ease and at peace. Thank you for your practice. Happy to be here today. Greetings to those who I can see on Zoom. Hello, Julie. Hello, Tita. Welcome. Greetings to the folks I cannot see on Facebook. And anybody who may be watching this later on YouTube. Happy to be with you. As usual, I put the usual information in the chat on Zoom. I'll post it on Facebook at some point. How to find this group. My contact information. If anybody feels moved to make a donation, there's a link there for that. Not soliciting. You don't have to. I do this for fun and for free. And I'm happy to do it. So today, I thought I would talk about what holds us back. I participate in a number of meditation groups, especially meditation for beginners groups on Facebook, and I frequently see questions about whether or not I'm doing it right, or I'm having this or that experience, and it feels wrong, or I feel like I'm not meditating. And so I thought I would address that. I addressed that to some degree last week, and so I thought I would talk more about that today. The Buddha identified what he referred to as the 5 hindrances, and they are desire, aversion, restlessness, sleepiness, and doubt. And we're going to tease that out a little bit for a few minutes. So, let's talk first about desire. In terms of meditating mindfulness practice, what I refer to here is you're meditating, and whatever your experience is, you want it to be something else. You want your mind to be quiet, or you want your body to be more still. You want to feel more relaxed. There was somebody in another meditation group that I was attending who was talking about. He said he feels like there's a lot of noise in his head, and I'm not really meditating. The point is, whatever you're experiencing in meditation is what you're supposed to be experiencing in meditation. And the point is to be aware of it. And we go in and out of that. It's important to remember that we cannot do this practice wrong. And with mindfulness, you can watch the whole arc of desire as you're sitting and as you're practicing in meditation. Oh, I'm okay with what's happening now. Oh, I wish this was different. These are just activities of the mind that we are observing. And somebody asked in one group I was in, what is the biggest challenge in meditation? For me, it is still, after 30 years of doing this, accepting that whatever experience I'm having is the experience I'm supposed to be having. Sometimes I'm meditating and I get really, really still. My mind is very still for some period of time. Thoughts will always bubble up. They just always will. There's nothing anybody can do about that. Sometimes I'm meditating, and I used to work in pop radio in the 70s. I hear that stuff. Conversations I had, movie clips, one of the things that impresses me the most in just sort of observing the mind doing this is how random it can be. It's all good. I'm just observing. It doesn't have to be different. The practice is just coming back as often as I need to, which can be quite often. My teacher, Gil Fonsdale, refers to that as the manual labor of meditation. The mind wanders off, you come back. The mind wanders off, you come back. You just kind of keep doing that. Sharon Salzberg, one of the Inside Meditation group teachers in Barre, Massachusetts, observed that she has been meditating for years, decades, and she's still doing the manual labor. The mind wanders off, she brings it back. That part hasn't really changed a whole lot. But what she observed is her life gets calmer and more clear, and she feels more centered as time goes by. So those are the fruits. The fruit is not we get silent, because nobody does. And even people who've been doing this for decades will tell you that even in the quiet moments, it's very rarely completely quiet. So, desire, Buddha talked a lot about the nature of desire, and I think what he was pointing to, just in general, is the desire for things to be different than how they actually are. So we're talking about acceptance, we're talking about self-acceptance, we're talking about our experience as it is. The next hindrance is aversion, resistance. Don't want it. There was a 2-year-old in my life who's just graduated from college, but when he was 2, when something happened that he didn't want, he'd go, don't want it, just like that, don't want it. He doesn't remember that. We all remember that. I refer to that as channeling my inner 2-year-old. I am meditating and I'm feeling sad and I don't want it. Or I'm feeling anger and I don't want it. Or I'm walking around the world and I'm having some sort of emotional experience and I don't want it. So I push it away. Resistance, aversion. This is also quite normal in meditation to meet whatever our experience is and say, I don't know. So when you experience aversion or anger, mindfulness practice helps us learn how to just sit with it and refrain from judging ourselves harshly, just to explore whatever our experience is. People who've been doing this with me for a long time know that I've talked a fair amount about anger because we meet anger with aversion much of the time. We're told it's not okay. We're told that we're not okay. And I keep coming back to this story that when I got to see the Dalai Lama in 2001, he filled this amphitheater in Mountain View, California, and for 3 days, and on the third night he was doing a Q&A. And somebody asked, well, what about anger and frustration? And he just kind of shrugged his, I experienced that. It's nothing, right? So, whatever your experience is, just explore it. Breathe into it. What do you notice in your body? How does that feel? What kind of thoughts are generated with it? What is the narrative that we've attached to it? Because our experience is often in 2 parts. Here's what we're experiencing, and here's what we're telling ourselves. The narrative is separate, and we can choose what to do with it. And mindfulness of thinking, when we step back from aversion, step back from this thought train that's telling us it's not okay, we can realize that our thoughts are real, but they're not true. So whatever thought stream you're experiencing that is telling you no to this, that's okay. It's okay to experience that. I'm suggesting you breathe into it. Because what we resist persists longer. The third hindrance is restlessness. I don't want to do this. It's taking a really long time. When is the bell going to ring? I have other stuff I have to do. All of that goes on. And there's a meme that made the rounds of guys meditating. You know, what his friends think he's doing, what his meditation students think he's doing, what he's actually doing. He's looking at his watch. We get restless when we're meditating. The body can start to feel restless. We might start to feel sore in places. We might want to feel like, I just don't want to do this anymore. Pema Chodron, in one of her books, I can't remember which one, said, feeling restless, stay. Legs getting sore, stay. It's just part of the normal part of meditation to feel a little antsy sometimes. And that's a frequent question I see coming across the transom on Facebook is, I feel anxious, or I feel this, or I feel that. And I don't want it. And what I'm suggesting, just observe it as energy. Breathe into it mindfully. Where do I feel this in my body? What is the thought train saying? I don't have to go down the road with it, but what is it saying? And if, whatever you're thinking about is really, really that pressing, you can get up and go do it. But the chances are it's not. So just because you're feeling restless doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It just means you're feeling restless. Breathe in, breathe out, accept your experience as it is. The next hindrance is sleepiness. We're all tired from time to time. We may feel like kind of hungover, like a carb hangover, kind of a little laggy from what we just ate. Or just generally low energy. That's fine. All of this is good or bad or neither, whatever we decide, but it's all pretty neutral. And these are all opportunities for self-compassion. I used to be very self-conscious about falling asleep while I was meditating. And I went to one of my teachers and said, I keep falling asleep. This is during like a day-long retreat. I said, I keep falling asleep. He said, well, obviously you're tired. What I don't want to be is, I'm in a meditation hall with like 30 people, and we're all, and behind me on the right I hear, I don't want to be the guy snoring in the meditation hall. But one of the things that helped me get over this is my teacher is a guy named Gil Fonsdale. If you look at the Insight Meditation Center in Redwood City, California, you'll find him. He's on YouTube every morning at 7 o'clock Eastern Time in the U.S. And I was on a week-long retreat with him, and I look up, and there's Gil sitting there, right? And he's doing one of these. Right? That thing when we notice we're falling over and we sit up. And I remember thinking, wow, I really hope he doesn't fall over and hit his head. But, Gil's been doing this a really long time. He's been a Zen priest. He's studied in Sri Lanka, all of that. And he still has that experience. So the truth is, we get sleepy. It's okay. Honor that. Again, it's an opportunity to be compassionate with ourselves. And the fifth hindrance is doubt. coming back to that question I keep hearing over and over again, am I doing this right? Or, I can't do this. I can't get my mind to be quiet. I can't do this. I can't sit here. I can't do this. I'll never get this right. I'll never, or I won't ever. We can hear that. The mind is going to tell us that. There's a certain part of our mind that's going to resist centering and calming. That's okay. It's really like hardwired that way, and I can get into that. The evolutionary neurobiology of that at some other time. Wondering if we're doing this as well as others. Someone once said to me at the end of one of these sessions that I'm sitting here, I seem to be so calm and so serene and have it all together. And what she's seeing is me sitting here with my eyes closed, but what's really going on is I'm still doing the go away, come back thing. And I no longer doubt whether or not I'm doing it right, I'm just doing it. Self-doubt can be a version of, I'm not okay, I'm afraid I'm not okay. And it's so endemic. I was at a meditation retreat, 10-day retreat, with one of my favorite teachers, a guy named Steve Armstrong. He's based in Hawaii. He comes to the States a couple times a year. Got a chance to go sit with him. And it's at a place north of Portland, in the middle of nowhere, Portland, Oregon, called Cloud Mountain. And I love these retreat centers because they're all like in the middle of nowhere, and this one's like deep in the woods. And it had just rained, so the woods are like lush, and there's like this big wooden deck, and I'm sitting outside and meditating. And I hear it. I hear it in my own head. You're screwing this up. I'm like, wow. You're doing this wrong. And it was such an awakening for me to have that thought like bubble up at random, because I am literally just sitting here for no other reason than just to sit here. And there's that thing bubbling up, doing it wrong. And I saw it. It was like, wow, completely exposed in front of me for what it was. Just a phantom, just a ghost. And through the grace of this practice, I've been able to look at that. And there's an important story about this. In the Buddha's story, Buddha knew the time had come for his awakening. He sat down in front of the Bodhi tree, underneath the Bodhi tree in what is now Bodh Gaya, India, and was there for several days. And right as he was on the verge of awakening, Mara, the god of illusion, was trying to stop the awakening, because the god of illusion does not want awakened beings, and threw everything she could at Buddha. And in the end, Buddha just was like sitting there peacefully. And finally, in frustration, Mara says, and screams at him essentially, "Who are you to think that you are someone who can awaken?" So the last arrow in his quiver, was self-doubt. He hurled self-doubt at the Buddha. "Who are you?" And Buddha opened his eyes and looked right at Mara and said, "I see you, Mara. Let's have tea." And he reached down and touched the earth with his hand, as if to say, just because I'm here, that's who I am. And he was awakened in that moment. "I see you, Mara. Let's have tea." He looked at his doubts straight on and met them with gentleness. And throughout the rest of his teaching days, which went on for some period of decades until he died at age 80, he would see Mara. Mara would be there like skulking around at the edge of the crowd where the monks were, or sitting right in front of him. And the other monks would get freaked out, and Buddha always did the same thing. He just very calmly looked right at Mara and said, "I see you, Mara. Let's have tea." Met it with gentleness. And what I take away from that is, even throughout his entire life, Buddha, who was fully awakened, struggled with his doubts and encountered that part of himself, the part that struggles, the part that doubts, the part that wonders whether or not we're on the right path. And he met it with self-compassion. So I don't believe we are going to be relieved of our stuff. There's a really great book on Jesus called The Gospel According to Jesus, and it's in two parts, and one part is the Gospel, Stephen Mitchell's translation of the Gospel, which is really good, separating out what Jesus said from what was said that he said. And the other part is like a psychological profile. And he argues that, like a good Jewish boy, Jesus went to his grave with his mother issues. So if Jesus can have issues, and Jesus can get angry and scared, which there's documentation of that in the Bible, and Buddha can get confused and visit his doubts, maybe we can all lighten up on ourselves a little bit and say, I see you. I was really fortunate to be able to meet with a woman named Ajahn Sundra. She's the abbot of the Cambridge, England monastery, and she was in the U.S. and she came and taught at the Insight Meditation Center when I was living near there. And I got a meeting with her. How cool is that? I'm a groupie for this stuff. I will always, if there's a teacher offering interviews, I will always go. And the takeaway from that meeting is that's what she taught me. So when I'm feeling this and I'm feeling my doubts or my anxiety or my fears or whatever, she said, look at it and say, I see you, Mara. So all of these things, all these 5 things, the desire, the aversion, the restlessness, the sleepiness, the doubt, these are all opportunities to meet ourselves with kindness and compassion. To not worry about whether we're doing it right, to not worry about whether we're on the path. To just be kind, gentle, and continue in your practice. So, thank you for your kind attention. Does anybody have any comments, criticisms, questions? Admonitions?
Thanks, Ken. No questions, but I've experienced all 5 things you mentioned frequently, so it's...
Me too, sometimes within the course of an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the reasons why I decided to talk about this today is I can't remember where I read this, that in pursuit of awakening to the degree that we pursue it, study the hindrances, because those are the things that, if we let them, will hold us back. So, Cherish, I haven't seen you here before. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. And Tita, welcome to you. Cherish, did I get your name right? Okay, well, I'll assume I did. We're all doing the best we can. So, you can reach me through Facebook or through my email. Happy to talk to any of you about any of this. And I will see y'all next time.